Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Eden Outpost. Exactly 2 months ago, we did the video about the firing of Ron Kelly, and it has been a back and forth thing, but finally he has been fired. So listen to the first video.
Hello, friends. So good to be in touch with you again. You've been a precious part of my life over the last several years, and it brings me great sadness to tell you this will be the last video that's produced where I am talking to you on this channel. On Sunday, December 1, at the end of my Thanksgiving vacation, I got a phone call at 3:16 telling me I needed to be at the conference office the next day. I was there to discuss employment issues. Things were brought up that I thought had been resolved, and I was told they were not resolved at the level I thought they were. I asked for the presentation of the grievances against me in writing. They said no. The next day I was before the conference committee, not knowing exactly what had been said about me before I went in. If I had gotten a speeding ticket, I would at least been able to hear what the police said about me and my potential offense. This isn't what most of us thought would be the deliberating spirit and process of the highest order of Christian kindness, redemption, and just behaving. But I am no longer the senior pastor of the village church now. I have my own YouTube channel, Ron Kelly. I look forward to talking with you, sharing a bit more about my journey, and helping you understand how to wisely navigate inside the Church of God, not losing the sweet spirit you need to keep, and yet being as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. My faith is good, my courage is strong. I know God has not left me, and I love this church. I want to encourage everybody here to continue to remain faithful to the Seventh-day Adventist Church that they're a part of, and I want to encourage you to pray for me and my family. God will provide, He always has, and He will in the future. Thank you again for your faithful and loyal and prayerful support. And now, may we go forward best understanding what our next move should be. God bless you, and I hope to see you in heaven, if not before.
So that was a goodbye message that Ron Kelly did when he was fired or he was put on administrative leave. February 12, 2025, Michigan Conference doubles down the vote to fire Ron Kelly. You are fired. So this is what has happened after a long 2 months plus of deliberating. Finally, Ron Kelly has been fired. So it says the Michigan Conference Executive Committee met yesterday for their regular February 11 meeting. The meeting began at 10:30 a.m. Some people didn't leave until 11 p.m. Big day it was. The topic of Ron Kelly's employment was discussed, and Ronnie himself was brought in to the meeting. After listening to Ron Kelly for a couple hours, the MISDA Committee voted 13-2 to terminate his employment. So we are seeing clearly here that they decided that they no longer need the services of Ron Kelly. The Michigan Conference, they decided that they should terminate his employment finally, because when they appealed and the church at Village SDA, they were not happy about what happened to their senior pastor. They wanted him back, but the conference didn't want. So they were going back and forth until finally when they held this meeting on February 11, they decided to vote, and the committee voted 13 out of 2. They voted 13, they wanted to terminate his employment. So this is what is showing us that there's a lot that is happening in the Church of God. Seventh-day Adventist is still the Church of God, but the devil has infiltrated this church, and the fights will continue, and this is just the beginning. There are so many pastors who are suffering in silence, but most of them, they decide not to say anything, they just go quiet. But it is so unfortunate that the Michigan Conference decided to do what they did, even against the will of the flock that they are leading. The members of Village SDA, they didn't want Ronnie to go, but they've been forced to accept the decision of the Michigan Conference. So we are going to wait and see. This is the letter that is dated February 12, 2025, Michigan Conference Pastors. So this is what happened. You can read more about this later. I'm going to put it in the description box so that you can read everything that happened that day. But just allow me to just read the first part. We are writing to inform you that the Michigan Conference Executive Committee voted by the secret ballot 13-2 on February 11 to uphold its previous decision and will bring Pastor Kelly's employment to a close. So after a long fight, finally they've decided that they are no longer going to take in Pastor Kelly, but his employment was finally terminated as they previously wanted. So this is the whole letter that is there. I'm going to just put a link in the description box so that those who wants to read all of it, you can go and check it out. When you read the Bible in Romans chapter 8 verse 28, I want to encourage a church member out there, or a pastor, or an elder, or a family that is going through persecution in the church of God. Romans 8 verse 28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So whatever is happening to Ron Kelly and his family, and to Conrad Vine, and to other people who are standing for the truth, just know that God knows. It does not catch God by surprise. Everything that is happening, God is still in charge. I want you to listen to this quotation and just take heart. This is Ministry of Healing, page 487. It says, study the history of Joseph and Daniel. The Lord did not prevent the plotting of men who sought to do them harm, but he caused all these devices to work for good to his servants who amid this trial and conflict preserved their faith and loyalty. So I want to encourage you that whatever is happening, it has not started today, and it is not going to end today. It is just going to continue, especially as we approach the end of this world history. Many things are going to happen to those, especially who stand true to God. May we keep the family of Pastor Ron Kelly in our prayers as we pray. Let's remember all the pastors who are passing through persecution because of what they are standing for. And may we just remember them in prayers, that God may give them strength and he may open another door for them. May we keep our lamps trimmed and burning. Maranatha.